Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you some of the new features that we released with Blockli. Now, in this video, I can see right here on my screen, we just released a couple more styles for our blocks. So you have the custom post block, the feature card block. Now, for the custom post block, we've added a new template. And this template, you can see, is slightly different from the previous template that we had launched. This template is specifically for WooCommerce products. Now, you can use this template for any of your custom post types, but in order for us to start having like an organization around the templates that we're releasing, we are starting to think about these templates for the custom post block in terms of the particular post types, but they can be used for any post type. So we've got this new custom post type, this new custom template for WooCommerce. So you go to the See All. In the See All screen, you're going to have a layout of your custom posts, and you can filter by simply clicking on any of these categories. So Blockli will dynamically pull the categories that are associated with your custom post type, and you can use that to actually filter the items that display on this particular screen. And you can also search. So, and then if I want to remove a filter, just click on that category. I need to remove that filter. Then I can also search here. Pendant, right? So that's on that. And then we also released the featured card style 9 and 10. So in this card style, this was specifically requested by one of our customers, and we figured it was good to put that in. So here you've got a featured image, you've also got your text, your meta text, and then your buttons. And of course, you know with Blockli, you can actually customize whatever that shows up in here, the background color of the button, of the actual blue color here, you can do all of that. And then we also have featured card 10. The featured card 10, so featured card 10, let me refresh my screen. I have changed the style of this featured card to featured card 10. And of course, I have to make sure I select a post that reflects that particular design. The reason why it's showing this is because, the post that I created that was actually selected here was different from what is supported in that template. So I'm going to refresh my screen again. Yes, and so we've got this feature, got 10 right here, where you have an image, you have every text you see here where it says Better Up, Better Science Lessons, Building a Healthy Organization, May 4, 2022, and then Employee Wellness and 10 Strategies. All of these are all customizable as you create the card in your Blockli UI. Now, those are on the new templates that we've released. Now let's go to the latest feature that I'm excited about, which is called Blockli Stories. Now, what are Blockli Stories? Blockli Stories are video first content type that you can use to deliver stories and quick short narratives to your users. This could be, it can range from straight up video instruction to full-fledged workout training or whatever, series of like video instruction that you want to give to your users. So let's click on this and see what it looks like. So we tap on this. Now it plays a video, and then when you tap on the right or left of the screen, you will advance to more content. So let's say I tap on the right. So you can see here, the idea here is that this is a workout by this lady called Anna Coster. And then you can imagine this to be a video where you're given an instruction on something, and after that, users can navigate to an actual like post that is accompanying that same video. And then you can even go to the next screen. In this case, I have put a quote here to sort of inspire my users or those who are watching on what this video is about. So it starts first of all with an actual workout video. And this can be any length. It can be 1 hour, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, based on the kind of content that you're creating. And then you can create more screens. In this case, I have a post screen that sort of gives out the workout routine. So you have it in the video, and then I'm putting it in this post type with this beautiful featured image, and then I can give them a quote at the end, and after that, and that's it, right? So this is a new content type, and I'm going to show you how to make this happen. So we're here in WordPress. How do we add a Blockli story just like I showed you in the app? Now we're gonna go in here. What we're gonna do is you're gonna go to Blockli add-ons, and then you're gonna see a new content type called stories. And we're gonna add a new story. Right here. Now you can see here, this is a new story. You have a title for your story, then you have what is called the cover information of the cover page of your story. Now the cover page of your story actually is represented by the very first screen that you see in your story. So in this case, it's going to be this first screen here, which is this video. So you see the video, the image or the avatar of the instructor, the name of the instructor, and the title of the video. That's what you're gonna have there. And also, if we're to X out, you can see that in the block itself, you have the featured image, an overlay color that is kind of blue in this case, which you can actually change the opacity of that overlay color when you add that the Blockli story block in an app page. And then you have what is called a story highlight, which kind of gives users a preview of what the story is about. And so let's go back into the WordPress backend. You can see here we have the story highlight, which I just mentioned, and then you insert the video URL. At this release, we are supporting the WordPress media URL or Bunny CDN URL. So we understand, because Bunny CDN is pretty much, for me, is like one of the best things that have happened to WordPress, because it is so cheap and easy to host your videos on the content delivery network. And then you can use that link with Blockli. And also the good thing about Bunny CDN is that your videos can actually be protected, and which is why we decided to go with Bunny CDN. Now we're gonna add support for YouTube and Vimeo in the subsequent release, but in this initial beta release, we are supporting Bunny CDN, video link, and WordPress media URL. So you insert that here, or you upload a video directly to your site. Now you have the option to determine whether your video is going to play as a portrait or is going to play as a landscape video. So you know, in stories, most times stories are played in portrait format, and that is the recommended format, for stories to have that immersive experience. But we also understand that sometimes that might not be the case. You might have a video that is not portrait, and then, or that you would actually want your video to play in landscape. You can simply just select landscape. And if you select landscape, then when you click on that story, the video is going to play on a landscape format. And then you add the story author and the story author avatar. And then you determine how many extra screens do you want to add to your story. And so by extra screens, I actually mean, like in this case, if I click on this story right here, now I can see the video, but then I have two extra screens. So I have this screen here, that is a post, and then I have the screen here, that is a quote. So you can determine how many screens that you want, and you can have up to four pages, right? So you can do one. So in this case, if you say one page, then it's gonna give you the fields to add information on that page. If you're going for 3, so let's do 4. So you can see here, this is story page 2, story page 3, story page 4, and story page 5. Now story page 2 and 4 support a post-like content where you have a post image, a post heading, and a post text. Whereas pages 3 and 5 support really short quotes, right? Just like I showed you. In this case, I'll show you right here. You have, this is story page 2 looks like this, which looks like a post, a full-fledged post that has what you call the header title, the post title, the featured image, and the post content. Whereas post pages 3 and 5 support just a simple quote like this. the way we have marked up the UI for this. So let's go and see what I've done here. So this is a post I have originally created, and then we can just come here and you would see that I have added my story highlight, my Bunny CDN URL, as well as determining whether it's a portrait or a landscape, the author avatar, and then I have 2 pages. And then in my first page, which is story page 2, I have, something that looks like a workout, sort of reps or instruction for my user after they watch the video. And then I want to, put on the quote in the last screen. And then once you do this, you save that. And then the next thing you have to just do is to go to your app page. And when you go to the app page, you can simply search for, so I'll put this right here. So we come to an app page here, and you can see there's a block here called Stories. Now, if I want to add another block, just search for Stories here, and you can see a story block here. And I'm going to grab this block, add it to my to the app page, and then you can now go ahead and customize everything that is here. So, for example, the primary text, which is the text that is actually for the color for all of this text, I can set them to any color that I want. And then I can set my meta text color. So my primary text color is for the title of the story, whereas the author and the story highlight are mapped to this meta text color. And then my CTA text color, of course, is what actually determines the color of this play button inside this plate. So that's this black play button here. You can change it with the CTA text color. And then the white circle around the play button, that you can change with the CTA background color. And then your overlay color is the overlay that is going to be on top of your featured image. So when you're creating a story, right here, you have the option to upload a story image or a story poster. And so in this case, we can come back here and then we can put an overlay on top of that featured image. And then you can also set the opacity of that overlay. Now, why we put this so that, in case, let's say, for example, the image that you have, there is no contrast between your text and the image that you have in the background, then you can use this overlay opacity to sort of create that contrast. And then once you're done, you click update, go to your app page, refresh, and then the story is there. Now I'm going to show you how to actually set up your Bunny CDN and take that link and set up your Bunny CDN to be able to work with Blockli. So I'm here in my Bunny CDN account. Now, of course, if you don't have a Bunny CDN account, you can go ahead and create one. Now, in Bunny CDN, once I come here, which first thing you want to do is to create a storage zone. Now, your storage zone, think of it as like a folder or a drive where you're going to host and store your videos. So let's go ahead and create a storage zone here. So I'm going to add to a storage zone, and then you can just give this any name that you want. So I'll just call this my storage. My stories. And then you can go ahead and select the region where most of your users are, right? That's what this is about. So in my case, I'm gonna select New York, and then and once you're done with that, the next thing you're gonna do is, and you can choose whether you want this to be an Edge SSD. This is optimized for high global performance part, so I'll just stick on standard. And then enable geo-replication. If enabled, your data will automatically be replicated into the selected regions and deliver from the closest region to the CDN POP. So that just means that you can replicate your files across the globe in all of the different regions that Bunny CDN servers are available. And so you can go ahead and select even more. So in my case, let's just go ahead and create and add the storage zone. Now I've created my storage zone, and you can go ahead and start uploading your files here. But after you upload your files, you will need to create what is called a pool zone. So a pool zone is actually where the file is going to be served from. Your files are going to be served from, and it also allows for protection of your videos. So let's connect the pool zone here. So I would go ahead. So it says if you already have a pool zone, choose one. Now I already have a pool zone, but let's create a new one here. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna call this. So you can see here, this pool zone is using the storage zone called my storage zone, which we have created earlier. And then I can go ahead right here and name that pool zone. So let's call these stories. Pool zone name is already taken. Stories Blockli. Right. So actually, let's do Blockli Stories right here. And that's available, and then we're just going to add this pool zone. Now we've added this pool zone. Now what you now need to do is, if you want to protect your videos, all you can just do is go to security and go to token authentication and turn on token authentication. Now when you turn on token authentication, then that means that if somebody grabs a hold of the URL of your video, then they can actually they won't be able to access that video. They're actually gonna get a 403 video. I'm sorry, a 403 error because they are blocked from accessing that video. But in Blockli, in the BuddyBus app, we have added the token authentication. So what you need to do is that if you turn this on, then you will need to update your Blockli app key to your index file. And I'll also show you how to do that. So let's even go to a storage zone that I've already created previously. So you can see here, I already have my existing my storage zone here, and I have two videos. This is that video that we're watching. So I'm gonna go here. When you upload a video, you can just copy that URL, and once you copy that video URL, then you can go to the story highlight and the story information, and then go over here and add that URL here. Now, but remember, like I said, if you have for your pool zone, if you have the authentication enabled, you would need to actually copy the authentication key. So look at my security settings here. I have token authentication enabled. Now with token authentication enabled, let's go try accessing this video file that I just copied. See this video file right here? It'll say 403 forbidden because that is protected. So people cannot download this video, for whatever reason they would want to do that. Now, if I turn it off, so let's go ahead and turn this off and then go back to try to access this same video. You can see right here, I can access that video, right? Now, let's turn it back on. And then in order for this to actually work in Blockli, you would need to provide this authentication key. So I'm just gonna go ahead here and copy my authentication key, right? I'm gonna go ahead and copy my authentication key. And then we're gonna go in here. So let's go. So when you go into your GitHub repository, now in your index file, if you're already using Blockli, then you would need to add this line of code here. If you're a new customer, we already gonna have, this is already what you're gonna get, and all you need to just do is to just add your authentication key here by removing this. But if you are an existing customer and you already have your index file going, just go ahead and add this bcdn_token column, and then you do the quotation, and then you add your authentication key right here, just like this. You add your authentication key, and then you commit changes. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and commit changes here, and I will say added token key, and I'll commit that directly to whatever branch that you are on. And so once you have this, then you would actually have to make a new build. And of course, in order for you to start seeing these Blockli Stories in the BuddyBus app, make sure that you make a new build to pick up the latest code changes. And please make sure that you add the BC or the Bunny CDN token if you are going to be using token authentication. And by the way, whether you're going to use it or not, just copy your token authentication key and put it in here, because you can turn this on and off if you want. That way you don't have to make a new build in order for you to use that. So once that is done, then you are good to go. All you just have to do is go ahead, create your stories, add them to an app page, and then select the story that you want. So the way these stories are designed, we know that the traditional way that blocks are displayed in the Bodybus app is like you're gonna have multiple posts in a particular block. Now, stories are designed to be more like a highlight kind of thing where you just see, you can only have one story at a time. Now, we're also working on a new template for the stories where you can have at least as many scrollable posts, like a carousel that is going left and right for people to choose from. But for now, in this release, when you add a story, you will actually have to go and pick the specific story that you want to show. So in my case here, I'm gonna go in here and pick right here where it says selected post. Now, these are all the stories that I've created. In this case, I'll just select this high intensity interval training. If you don't select a specific post and you say all, then Blockli is going to pick the latest post that you've created. But to be specific, you can pick whatever one that you want here and then update, and then you're good to go. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this. And remember, this is a beta release. Please, we look forward to getting any feedback from you. And, as you use this, let us know things that we can improve upon. And then before we actually release the production version of this. But right now, this is good to go. It's bug free. You can use it. We just want to get feedback from you on what you guys think about this new content type for the Bodybus app. Thank you.